Thank you very much, Tom. As you can see, there are no visuals behind me. I'm a writer, so I'm going to use my words to captivate you. Dr. James Davis, the head of neurology at Stony Brook, had come into my room, trailed by a retinue of interns and residents. He was a big, gentle bear of a man with a salt and pepper beard and a calming, soothing bedside manner. I must have been holding on tight to myself up until that moment, scared and anxious, waiting for the next thing to hit me. But his reassuring words, tone, and demeanor put me at ease. I felt my entire being let out a big, long sigh. I knew that I was going to be okay. He did that without any tools, without any monitors, without anything other than just who he was. That was his tool. That was the thing that he possessed that was the most healing. I'll just leave you with one of my favorite and most famous Hippocrates quotes, which is his famous dictum: "Cure sometimes, treat often, but comfort always." Thank you very much.
Lee Carlson.
Spades. Not only did I have a traumatic brain injury, but my mother had one 9 months before me and died. We had a lot of trauma in our family. I'm a writer, so when I was finally able and well enough to write again, I thought, well, what can I do? Well, how can I help people? And I'm doing it all through this book that I've written, which is called Passage to Nirvana, A Survivor's Zen Voyage, reflections on loss, discovery, healing, and hope. And those last parts are the important parts: the healing, the hope, the discovery.
The next part is so hard and so daunting that the person who wrote this list didn't even include it on the list. Right? Anybody want to hazard a guess as to what the next part is? Anyone? The next part of being a successful author?
Giving it to the editor.
Marketing. Exactly. Marketing. So the second half of the Lee Carlson Successful Writer's Pledge is this. Ready? Raise your right hand, whatever hand it is. I do solemnly swear that I will work my butt off.
I do solemnly swear that I will work my butt off.
To do a great job promoting, marketing, and selling my new baby.
To do a great job promoting, marketing, and selling my new baby.
One of my favorite stories is about Mark Twain, who's one of my heroes, and he was a superb self-promoter. When Twain wrote his first book, The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Cavaleras County, he dedicated the book to John Smith. Twain didn't have a particular John Smith in mind, but he figured John Smith was the most common name in America, and that many people not named John Smith would buy the book. The best writers are always thinking of creative ways to sell their books.
It was a very, very difficult book to write. I had to relive all the experiences that I'd gone through, which was much more traumatic than I ever expected it would be. So a lot of the book revolves around the idea of figuring out who you really are, because when you're a traumatic brain injury patient, you really have lost your sense of self and your ability to think and understand who you are. But of course, that can be true for a lot of us for various reasons and situations. One of the things that my neurologist said to me, he said, "Who are you? What do you like to do?" And I said, "Well, I love to sail. I love boats. I'm in Florida and there's water." And he said, "Good, great." He said, "I want you to, spend as much time doing that as possible." The word nirvana is a Sanskrit word which loosely translated means heaven on earth. It means like heaven right here, right now. Not a heaven that we're going to die and go to someday eventually, but it means that you learn that where you are right here, right now, is a wonderful place. So I absolutely love the fact that you can paint with words. I think that you can paint a picture, if you use the right words, you can say amazing things and get people to see things in their minds outside the box and not just be a sheep and do what everybody else does, but really to think creatively and come up with new and different ways of doing things and saying things. It doesn't matter whether you're an artist or a writer or a bank president or a lawyer, that idea of thinking differently and thinking creatively. Thank you very much, everybody.
So I really enjoyed that. Yeah.